to Julian, switch John and Julian around. So I'm Julian Charles John Lennon.
John Lennon's son, Julian Lennon, has disclosed the one Beatles song that he finds frustrating to hear. The song recalls Julian, 60, of his parents' divorce when John left his mother, Cynthia, for Yoko Ono, he disclosed in a recent interview. The song in question is the 1968 classic Hey Jude, composed for Julian by Paul McCartney, a musician and photographer. There's no doubt that it's a lovely sentiment, and I'm very grateful, but it's also driven me insane, he said to Esquire. The fact that he created a song for me and for my mother makes me happy, but it may also be a little annoying depending on where you're listening to it and whose side of the bed you woke up on. John married Julian's mother, Cynthia, in 1962, after meeting her in a calligraphy class in 1957. The following years born, Julian stated that he could not think of a single bad word to describe the song, but rather that it reminds him of certain childhood experiences. Julian recounted multiple instances in which he was quoted back by others, saying, "Every time you quote that song, it reminds me of my mother being separated from my father, the love that was lost, and the fact that I rarely saw my father again ever." Regarding his father, Julian remarked, "I think I saw him a few times before he passed away." Many people are unaware of how powerful, emotional, and private that is. There is more to it than just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and be happy. There is intense mental suffering. Although I may celebrate it, it will always hold a dark place in my heart. John reportedly told David Sheff in an interview conducted a few months before he passed away in 1980 through Far Out magazine that his bandmate McCartney had written the song about his son Julian. "He was aware of my separation from Julian and my breakup with COIN. John described McCartney's inspiration for Hey Jude as he was driving over to say hi to Julian. He had treated him like an uncle. Paul, you know, was always terrific with children. He then thought of Hey Jude. But to me, it always sounded like a song, if you give it some thought. Yoko is a recent addition to the scene." The guitarist said, "He's saying, 'Hey Jude, hey John.' I understand that I may seem like one of those fans that interprets stuff into it, but to me, it sounds like a song. When he said, 'Go out and get her,' he was really saying, 'Go ahead, leave me.'" Julian stated that the famous song was first called Hey Jules, an homage to his own moniker, in an interview with the New York Post in 2022. At the age of 17, Julian witnessed his father's murder outside his Upper West Side apartment in Manhattan. Nevertheless, I believe that many members of the public were unaware of this, because, you know, that's when Dad left the house. So it makes me think of a pretty gloomy period in many ways, he went on. When Dad left Mum and me at that point, I was more worried about my mother's welfare and well-being than my own.